In the more than 25 years that One Piece has been around, we've seen countless changes, including the designs of the series' main characters. Most of these changes are due to the 2-year time skip in the story, which led to many characters drastically altering their appearance. Some designs improved upon the originals, while others didn't fare as well. In today's video, we're going to dive into the changes these characters have undergone, including how their personalities and motivations have evolved. Remember, if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to help me reach 3,000 subscribers and achieve my dream. Also, let me know in the comments what you're doing while listening to this video, whether it's playing in the background while you eat or something else. Now let's get started with the video. Monkey D Luffy. Introduction to the change. Before the time skip, Luffy was a young man with a simpler and more jovial design, reflecting his carefree and friendly attitude. However, after the time skip, his appearance became more defined, showcasing both physical and emotional evolution. Prominent physical details. He now has a prominent scar on his chest, a result of Akainu's attack during the Marineford War. This scar is not just a visual change, but also a symbol of the cost of his decisions and challenges. His musculature is more developed, evidence of the intensive training he underwent during the 2 years with Rayleigh. Changes in face and expression. Previously, his face was rounder, conveying a lighthearted and playful personality. Now, while he continues to smile and maintain his carefree spirit, his expressions have taken on a more serious and determined tone, reflecting his growth as a captain and protector of his nekamas. Roronoa Zoro. Introduction to the change. Zoro, the swordsman of the Straw Hat Pirates, has undergone a design evolution that emphasizes his imposing nature and growth as a warrior. Prominent physical details. His skin, previously of a darker and more orange-like tone, is now noticeably lighter, a change attributed to artistic decisions by Toei Animation. His musculature is even more defined, highlighting the intense training he underwent under Mihawk's tutelage. This portrays him as an even more powerful fighter. Clothing and style. His clothing remains characteristic but has adapted to a more mature and sober version that complements his more serious demeanor. His expressions have changed significantly. Before the time skip, Zoro often had a more relaxed and even somewhat carefree look. Now, his expressions are much more serious, almost intimidating, reflecting his commitment and determination as Luffy's first mate. Sanji. Introduction to the change. Sanji is perhaps one of the characters whose design doesn't show drastic changes at first glance. However, upon closer observation, subtle modifications can be noticed that add maturity and a more refined style. Prominent physical details. Sanji's beard has transitioned from a faint and barely noticeable detail to a more defined style, known as his characteristic goatee. This change adds a touch of sophistication to his appearance. His hair still covers one eye, but it appears to have a slightly more groomed and modern style. Clothing and style. Sanji's outfits have evolved. Previously, he often wore striped suits, whereas now his style has shifted to more elegant and darker suits, reflecting a more professional touch as both a cook and a fighter. Attitude reflected in the design. While his physical design hasn't changed drastically, his posture and demeanor convey greater confidence. He retains his romantic and obsessive nature toward women, but with a more polished air. Nico Robin. Introduction to the change. Nico Robin is one of the characters whose design has sparked significant debate in the community after the time skip. Her evolution reflects a different approach to her visual representation, marking a noticeable contrast compared to her earlier version. Prominent physical details. Skin tone. Before the time skip, Robin had a notably darker complexion. Now her tone is much paler, which sparked controversy among fans. This change appears to be an artistic decision by Toei Animation to align more closely with her manga depiction. Hairstyle. Robin trades her signature long, straight hair for a more modern cut with layers and volume, giving her a sophisticated air. Accessories. She used to wear a cowgirl hat as part of her adventurous style, but after the time skip, this disappears, highlighting a more minimalist look. Changes in her overall design. The current Robin is more stylized and perceived as more elegant. These changes also reinforce her role as a key strategist in the Straw Hat Pirates. Her design reflects maturity while retaining the mysterious essence that defines her character. Nami. Introduction to the change. Nami is undoubtedly one of the Straw Hat Pirates who has undergone the most noticeable design changes after the time skip. These adjustments affect not only her physical appearance, but also how she is perceived within the group. Prominent physical details. Hairstyle. Her hair, previously short and more practical, is now long and flowing, emphasizing a more feminine and glamorous style. Eye color, previously black, her eyes now feature a hazel tone, adding more detail and personality to her design. Physique. One of the most talked about changes is the increase in her bust size, a change that also applies to Nico Robin. This evolution has been interpreted as an adjustment to the anime's style, emphasizing more stylized features. Clothing. Her post-timeskip attire is more revealing and modern, fitting the tropical and dangerous adventures the crew faces in the new world. Attitude reflected in her design. While she retains her cunning and calculating personality, her design now reinforces her role as the crew's navigator and a dependable team member. Usopp introduction to the change. Usopp, the sniper of the Straw Hat Pirates, has undergone a visual transformation that primarily highlights the evolution of his physique, transitioning from a skinnier and more cartoonish character to one with a sturdier appearance. Prominent physical details. Skin tone. Like Zoro and Robin, his skin tone has been lightened, a change that seems to align with an overarching design decision by the animators. Musculature. Usopp has left behind his skinny appearance and now boasts a more toned physique with more defined arms and chest. Hairstyle. While retaining his characteristic long nose, his hairstyle is now shorter and more practical, reinforcing his newfound confidence. Overall design. Usopp's new design reflects his growing confidence as a warrior of the crew. His evolution is not only physical, but also showcases a more determined and assured character. Despite these changes, he retains his comedic essence, but with a design more fitting for his role as the sniper in the new world. Tony Chopper. Introduction to the change. Chopper, the Doctor of the Straw Hat Pirates, is arguably the character who has undergone the most transformations in design after the time skip. While his appearance remains adorable, the changes have sparked divided opinions within the community. Prominent physical details. Fur color. Previously, his fur had a darker brown tone, but now it is lighter, enhancing his kawaii appearance. Hat. His iconic hat changed from a moderately sized red one to a much larger, rounder blue hat that practically covers his entire head. Overall shape. His design has been further stylized to emphasize his cuteness, moving away from the original design, which was simpler and more compact. Opinions on the design. While some fans feel the new design reinforces his role as the group's mascot, others miss his original appearance, which balanced cuteness with simplicity. The current design seems to focus on appealing to a younger audience. Franky. Introduction to the change. Franky, the cybernetic shipwright of the Straw Hat Pirates, has undergone significant design adjustments after the time skip. These changes focus primarily on his physique, further emphasizing his identity as an eccentric cyborg. Prominent physical details. Body. Franky now has a much larger and bulkier design, reinforcing his image as the tank of the group. His arms are broader, and his chest features a more squared-off design, leaning into a full-fledged robotic aesthetic. Hair. His hairstyle has become more extravagant, often changing depending on the scene, reflecting his flashy and eccentric personality. Clothing. While he still sports colorful and quirky outfits, his clothing now appears more functional for his role as a combatant in the new world. Overall design. Despite the extreme changes, Franky retains his essence as a fun and unique character, though his current design has been criticized by some fans for being overly robotic and straying from his original look. Brook. Introduction to the change. Brook, the skeletal musician of the Straw Hat Pirates, is one of the characters who has changed the least after the time skip, but his evolution is evident in small details that reflect his growth as a crew member. Prominent physical details. Afro. His iconic afro now appears fluffier and better maintained, giving him a more striking appearance. Clothing. While he still wears elegant suits, his outfits have become more extravagant, incorporating bright and colorful elements that reflect his role as a rock star and musician in the crew. Overall design. Despite the subtle changes, Brook retains his comedic and charismatic essence. His design reinforces his role as the eccentric and entertaining character who balances tense situations in the story. His evolution demonstrates increased confidence, especially with his musical abilities, which he now uses effectively in combat. Jinbe. Introduction to the change. Jinbe, the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates, is one of the characters whose design has remained most consistent after the time skip. However, subtle adjustments can be observed that reinforce his position as an official member of the crew. Prominent physical details. Body. His physique remains robust and powerful, representing his strength as a fishman and a former member of the 7 warlords of the sea. Clothing. While he retains his characteristic tunic, the design has been updated with more detailed patterns and brighter colors, reflecting his affiliation with the Straw Hat Pirates. Overall design. Despite the minimal changes, his presence in the crew adds a sense of stability and strength. His design continues to symbolize wisdom and experience, complementing his role as a mentor and guide for the group. Koby introduction to the change. Koby, the young marine we first met at the beginning of the series, has undergone one of the most impressive transformations in design after the time skip. His evolution reflects his growth both physically and personally. Prominent physical details. Body. He has transformed from a frail and chubby boy into an athletic marine with well-defined musculature, showcasing the results of his training under Garp's supervision. Face. His face no longer bears the childlike features of the past. It now displays a more defined jawline and a determined expression, reflecting his development as a leader. Hair. His previous mop-like messy hairstyle has been replaced with a shorter, tidier look, fitting his role as a disciplined marine. Overall design. His current design exudes maturity and confidence, marking his transformation from an insecure aspirant to a courageous and promising marine. The drastic change in his appearance symbolizes the importance of perseverance and effort in the world of One Piece. Alvida. Introduction to the change. Alvida, one of the first antagonists in One Piece, underwent a radical transformation due to the effects of her devil fruit, which significantly impacted both her physique and overall design. Prominent physical details. Body. Before the time skip, Alvida had a robust and unattractive physique, according to One Piece's world standards. After consuming the Subisub no Mi, her body transformed completely, becoming slim and streamlined. Face. Her current design features a more symmetrical and attractive face with smooth skin that highlights the effects of her devil fruit. Clothing. Her attire has evolved to complement her new figure, featuring more elegant and revealing outfits that emphasize her newfound confidence. Overall design. Her transformation visually represents her shift in status and self-esteem. Despite her drastically different appearance, she retains her arrogant and defiant attitude, reinforcing her role as a charismatic villain. Don Quixote Doflamingo. Introduction to the change. Doflamingo, one of the most iconic antagonists in One Piece, showcases a design evolution after the time skip while retaining his eccentric and powerful essence. Prominent physical details. Body. His musculature has become more defined, reflecting his physical strength and his role as a key player in the new world. Clothing. He retains his signature pink feathered coat, a symbol of his extravagance. However, his outfit appears more polished and detailed, aligning with the post-time skip animation style. Facial expression. His face has become even more intimidating, with a smile that now seems more calculated and menacing, emphasizing his ruthless nature. Overall design. The adjustments to his design underscore his status as one of the most feared and respected figures in the new world. His appearance exudes power, extravagance, and danger in equal measure. Marshal D teach to Blackbeard. Introduction to the change. Blackbeard, the current Emperor of the Sea, has transformed from a common pirate with a simple design into a character whose appearance exudes power and intimidation. Prominent physical details. Body. He has grown more corpulent, emphasizing his size and weight as a symbol of his commanding presence. Beard. His signature beard has grown significantly, becoming more unkempt and truly befitting his name. Clothing. Previously dressed in a simple and careless manner, his attire is now more striking, featuring elements that reinforce his status as an emperor, including a cape and golden accents. Expression and attitude. His face reflects his transformation from an ambitious pirate to a fearsome leader. His smile is more malicious and calculated, while his eyes convey a mix of madness and absolute confidence. Overall design. His current design represents his meteoric rise in the pirate world, highlighting his chaotic and unpredictable nature. Shanks. Introduction to the change. Shanks, the enigmatic Emperor of the Sea, has undergone subtle design changes after the time skip, reflecting his evolution as a key figure in the world of One Piece. Prominent physical details. Face. His face now appears more mature and serious, with sharper features that reinforce his status as one of the most respected and mysterious characters in the series. Body. While his physique hasn't changed drastically, it now appears more robust and solid, hinting at his underlying strength. Clothing. He retains his iconic black cloak and white shirt, but with greater animation detail, giving him a more imposing and refined aura. Overall design, Shanks' current design balances nostalgia and power. While not drastically altered, the adjustments reinforce his role as one of the most influential characters in the world of One Piece. Akainu, Sakazuki, Introduction to the Change. Akainu, the current fleet admiral of the Marines, has undergone a design evolution that amplifies his rigid and menacing personality after the time skip. The changes are subtle but significant in highlighting his central role in the story. Prominent physical details, face. His face now features sharper and harsher details, emphasizing his ruthless and stern character. Body. While already physically imposing, his musculature appears more pronounced, underscoring his strength as one of the most powerful Marines. Clothing. He retains his signature admiral's uniform with a white cape, now rendered with greater detail. The addition of his marine cap and a more intimidating demeanor further accentuate his authority. Overall design. Akainu's design reinforces his image as the leader of the Marines, highlighting both his determination and coldness. The visual adjustments effectively convey his power and his role as a key antagonist in the series. Buggy, Introduction to the Change. Buggy, the hilarious and charismatic villain turned Emperor of the Sea, displays design changes that reflect both his unexpected rise and his comedic essence. Prominent physical details, face. His facial expressions remain exaggerated and humorous, now paired with a more detailed design befitting his new status as a significant figure in the new world. Clothing. While still donning his signature clown hat and extravagant outfits, these now feature a more polished finish, symbolizing his elevated position. Body. His physique hasn't changed drastically, but it retains its comedic essence, emphasizing his boastful attitude and relative fragility in combat. Overall design. Buggy retains his comedic core, but his post-time skip design highlights the irony of his rise as an emperor. The blend of humor and grandeur is clearly reflected in the adjustments made. Aokiji, Kuzan, Introduction to the Change. Aokiji, the former Marine Admiral turned enigmatic figure after his duel with Akainu, displays a design that reflects his shift in role and status within the world of One Piece. Prominent physical details. Clothing. He has replaced his admiral uniform with a rougher, more pirate-like outfit, featuring a long coat and darker tones that underscore his new independent status. Leg prosthesis. He now sports an ice leg, a result of his battle with Akainu. This detail is not only functional, but also a symbol of his resilience and the cost of his struggle. Expression and attitude. His previously relaxed and carefree demeanor has been replaced with a more serious and melancholic expression, reflecting the weight of his exile and the decisions he has made. Overall design. Aokiji retains his calm and reserved personality, but his current design emphasizes his transformation into a more morally and physically ambiguous figure. The choice of darker colors and details in his attire enhances his aura of mystery. Crocodile, Introduction to the Change. Crocodile, the former leader of Baroque works, exhibits a design evolution after the time skip with details that enhance his elegant and calculating nature, aligning with his new position in the world of One Piece. Prominent physical details. Skin tone. His skin, previously darker, has been slightly lightened, following the trend of several characters post-time skip. Clothing. He now dons a more refined and elegant suit, solidifying his image as a crime lord. His fur-lined coat has become an iconic element of his design, highlighting his aura of sophistication. Expression. His face retains his signature scar and habitual cigar, but his expression now exudes greater calm and confidence, reflecting his experience and resilience after past defeats. Overall design. Crocodile remains an imposing and strategic character. The changes in his design emphasize his status as a prominent figure in the pirate underworld and a rival not to be underestimated. And that's the end of the video analyzing the design changes of One Piece characters before and after the time skip. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know in the comments which character you think improved the most and which one got worse. Sending you a big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.